Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Four Corners Podcast. My name is Colin.
Scott.
Steven.
Zach.
All right. Well, first off, spoilers for those who have not watched the Super Bowl, and if you haven't watched the Super Bowl, seriously, great game. The Eagles won 41-33. Last second fumble led to a field goal by the Eagles, led to Brady trying to throw a 49-yard Hail Mary that just missed in the end zone. Good game overall. Highest yardage game of all time, including regular season, postseason, everything.
Just postseason.
No, it said regular season as well.
Mm-hmm.
It was 1,100 yards combined between the two teams. So
11:52.
yeah, so an incredible amount of yards. Nick Foles is the MVP. I mean, Brady played a hell of a game. There was only 2 turnovers the entire game, one by the Eagles, one by the Patriots. So I'd say it was a good game. I mean, obviously Scott's not too happy that his team lost, but it was a good showing.
It's not the fact that we lost, it's just who we lost to.
Yeah.
I don't like the Eagles. I don't like their fans. I don't know, they rub a lot of people the wrong way, and they don't really act with a whole lot of class when it comes to parading down the street yelling, "Fuck Millie." I mean, she's 100 years old.
Yeah. For those who don't know, Millie is a Vikings fan who is obviously 100 years old, and she was hoping her Vikings would go to the Super Bowl. Obviously, that didn't happen. And Philly, they can rub people the wrong way. I can understand that. As a Blackhawks fan who played against the Flyers, I can attest to that. But in fairness, we also played against the Bruins, and the Bruins were. The fan base were really nasty. Anytime you shot at the net, they'd boo. And it was so great watching them lose to us. So, but anyway, so we're not going to talk too much about the Super Bowl. It was a good game. I thought it was fantastic, really entertaining. Shout out to Justin Timberlake's halftime performance. I liked the Prince tribute. Very classy.
Did a good job.
Yeah, I mean, nothing really big to say there. I don't really care too much about Justin Timberlake, but can't.
He's a really good artist. I like a lot of his music.
Can't really crap on his performance. So
especially the Prince tribute.
yeah, that was very cool. So I'd say we need to get into some topics then.
Well, before we get started, I do want to give a couple shout-outs and thanks. Want to thank all the people that took time to like and subscribe our videos into our channel. It means a lot. I mean, this doesn't happen without you guys. We are really grateful. And if you guys have been paying attention to the Twitter and me on Facebook, I've been announcing a pretty big announcement for the podcast that we'll get into at the end of the podcast, but it'll definitely be worth the wait. Lastly, I want to give a couple shout outs. One to Castle Comics and Cards here in Lafayette. Our favorite card store in Lafayette. They've been good to us for a very long time, and
We were just there today.
yep, it's a great place to go for comics and cards and miniatures and
Board games. I mean,
Yeah,
all
just to
sorts
go
of
to hang
stuff.
out.
Yeah, it's a good place. Love going there when we do go there.
The other shout I want to give to is to Velacards. Velacards has a 10% off deal of any order of any size going on right now. You can either go to velacards.com or check out on Twitter at Velacards. But make sure to take a look there and see what he's got in stock.
And how do you spell Vela?
Velacards is VELA and then CARDS. Velacards.
There you go. We took care of our quote-unquote sponsor obligations, so let's get into the actual stuff we want to talk about.
Or the special plugs.
Yeah. Yeah. For some people. All right, who wants to start? I don't really care who starts first, but...
Well, I'll go ahead and start.
Go.
My topic this week, kind of wanted to get away from the wrestling part of it for a while. I mean, I love talking about wrestling, but I want to kind of keep it fresh too here. Wanted to list top 5 favorite video games for each of us.
All right.
Are we talking of all time, or are we talking
I'm
for
gonna
a certain system?
Your personal preference out of all consoles.
Yeah, because I'm just getting ready to say, because if you pick, like, the 5 probably best games I consider versus my 5 favorite games, completely separate situations.
Well, I think that's why he said your top. Like,
Yeah,
all
yeah.
of us are kind of naming them, and
Right.
I'm assuming you'll allow for feedback from each of us and everything.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
and
So-
guys in the comments, feel free to list what your top 5 are.
Yeah.
I mean, we're interested to hear what you guys like, and if you want to recommend something, we'll gladly try to give it a play.
Yeah.
But up
Well,
first,
Hang on, actually, while you're doing the plug-in, Colin also does Let's Play too.
Yeah.
So that kind of could tie into he could possibly do a Let's Play on it later on. down the
Exactly.
road. Just throwing it out there.
I'm sure if it's a good enough game, we might give it a
I'd be
swing.
down.
Possibly.
I'd be down. Anyway, go
I
ahead.
mean, it's
Scott,
in the
sorry.
playlist, so.
but coming in at number 5, this is one that I played over and over quite a bit of times, and I love it every time I play it, is Batman Arkham Asylum on the 360. Amazing combat system. It is smooth. So smooth.
Oh, you're welcome for some of those achievements, by the way.
Thank you.
No, I seriously sat down next to him one time. He's like, I can't figure. What was it? You were trying to figure out the Riddler.
There's
things-
finding some of the riddles.
Some of the riddles, and he's just like, I can't fucking find these. I'm like, dude, do this and do this. I've never played the fucking game. I just read it, and I was like, some people
Well, I
just
mean-
pick it up better.
One of the things I liked about it is it felt like I was playing a comic book.
Yeah.
Going through, I mean, Batman's got a really deep gallery of rogues.
Right.
And I thought they were all highlighted pretty well. I thought it had a pretty good story, and it set the groundwork for probably one of the best comic book video game series
Ever.
to date. It was a damn fine game. Voice casting was on point with Kevin Conroy as Batman, Mark Hamill reprising the roles, the Joker. I mean, the definitive Joker, Mark Hamill.
Yeah. I mean, Arkham City did really well. I don't. The other one was Arkham Origins, correct?
Arkham Knight.
Arkham Knight.
That
was it?
is a
Okay.
fantastic
Okay.
game.
Yeah, Origins was the off one, like kind of the tester for something else. It kind of seemed like
Yeah. And
like a
I don't-
standalone game.
Yeah, and it really didn't do much. I don't.
Catwoman was fun. The DLC was very fun.
Yeah.
But
I hate DLC so much.
Colin, what would you say your 5th favorite overall game is?
My 5th favorite,
Yeah.
honestly, probably Forza 5. I
Okay.
had so much fun playing that game. Lots of achievements. I mean, I like racing games, so mine are going to be more towards the racing stuff. Obviously, I don't have all racing, but had an absolute blast playing that game a lot in the past couple of years. It's just a fun game overall. Good racing. I love Gran Turismo as well. The reason Gran Turismo is not on the list is because Forza actually has damage physics. Gran Turismo, you could run into a brick wall and the car has no effect whatsoever. And as much as I love playing Gran Turismo, you got to have some realism to it. Otherwise, it's too arcadey for me, and I'm not really much into the arcadey racing games, to be honest with you.
That's pretty good. Zach, what say you?
I'm going to go with NCAA 2012 was the last one.
Yeah, the very last one.
That was by far my favorite college football game ever made.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. The story mode where you could play as Robert Griffin or all of these
Yeah.
big time players. Man, it was that.
I think I still have that game.
It made it awesome because it was more.
To Scott about
Yeah,
that.
it was even better because you could get achievements for every one that you did.
Yeah, that's why he had it, because he was doing achievements off there.
Yep.
Yeah, I was achievement horn.
Yeah.
I'll
Not
admit
ashamed.
it.
Yeah.
Still do.
I love being a dirty, filthy achievement horn. It's awesome.
Wow.
Except you keep losing your freaking
Gamer
gamer tag. I
You
think
can
one.
reset it again.
I reset it, but I kind of life happened and like Raw Deal, Super Show, all that type of stuff happened. I kind of really haven't.
I just-
Poured much in the game land.
I think the last time
like,
he-
the way he was saying was like you had to keep resetting it. So I was like, did you lose it again?
The
or-
last time he.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because the last time he lost it, he had like 300 or 400,000 gamer score, and then had to reset it all.
It
back
was
to
enough
normal.
to make me want to cry. That was a lot of hours of my life I gave up.
I'm only at like just under 10,000. I've got more gamer score than him, and I haven't gotten achievements in probably a good year and a half.
All
I
right.
don't think I've gotten one achievement in a year and a half.
So, Steve, what comes in number 5 on your list of favorites?
Wow.
Mortal Kombat.
No, but I mean, honestly, I'm not like a huge gamer. I'll sit down, I'll play games every so often. I'll admit, like I'm more into some sports and fighting games. But I would probably have to say one of my favorite games to still currently play, and I'll mention another one of these as probably my top one or two to play, would be the Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom, originally redone from the first version.
That is a damn fun game.
I hate that game because
hate it?
I hate it because no. There's nothing wrong with the game. The game plays
Is
fine.
it the user?
No, it's the person I'm playing against. And it's that motherfucker right there.
Yeah, Steven's ridiculously good.
He's like we all have.
I'm not. Hang on. I'm not as good as Jay. Though.
Yeah, the four of
Jay
us all have.
is amazing.
The four of us all have specialties. Like I have racing. He's more of a fighter type person. You're big into the football sort of genre, and you're big into the like open world RPG,
yeah,
sort of
that's what I was
deal.
gonna say,
Like you,
RPG.
that's where you kind of something that we can't beat him at because we can't play against him. But
Well, it's like I remember. I think it was like sometime last year. You ended up buying it for the 360. You're just like, "Hey, Steven, you got time to kill?" I go, "Yeah." He goes,
Oh yeah,
"Did you get achievements?"
I had achievements to whore up.
So he always. It seems like he always calls me to get these. Which I mean, I don't. I mean, I always have to get like a practice fight in. But other than that, I'm good. He just doesn't like it when I can pull off like a 160 combo or
It
something
is
like that.
pretty cool to watch you sit back there and just rack up these combos. Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, because some of them I can't get, so like it's like, hey, Steven, come over here.
Remember when we had to Google the 500,000 one?
Yeah, that was fucking
That took like 2 hours to do. Jesus Christ.
Speaking of achievements and people helping you get them, as I recall, you were playing a Need for Speed game and you couldn't get the last two missions. I think it was Jess that was playing.
Hang on.
That was
You playing
actually-
Need for Speed?
No, that was my wife.
Yes.
She was playing it.
Oh, okay.
And
I
neither-
don't do racing games. I know better.
Yeah.
So.
They literally texted me like, "Hey, we need this achievement. What is it? We just need to complete the game. We're on the last 2 levels." Okay. We've tried. I came over. They're like, "We've tried it 16, 7. Like we've tried it forever. We can't figure it out." The first one took me 2 tries. The second one I got through in the first try. And they're just like, "The fuck?" Like,
But coming at number 4 for me is BioShock Infinite. I'm a huge fan of the BioShock line.
I'm actually shocked Infinite was up there. I figured it'd be one of the other ones.
Infinite, it looks pretty. Like, my God, does it look gorgeous. Very well detailed. The list of villains that you have to go and fight in that game is pretty cool. You have the Patriots, the Handyman, the Siren. There's a whole bunch of stuff that it's really deep and rich. And having Elizabeth, who's like your companion in this, to bounce dialogue off of is really cool because it really helps strengthen some of the other moments of the game. I don't know, I've always really liked the BioShock series. Likely my favorite game series out there. And it has a lot of twists and turns in it. And it's one of those games that does have a slight mindfuck towards the end. I highly recommend it if you haven't played it. Zach, what about you? What comes at number 4?
Number 4, I would have to go with Arkham Knight.
Very nice.
That was easily one of my favorite, besides Origins. I like the whole open world, and there was so much to do. And then you got to drive the Batmobile around, which was awesome because it was like driving a fucking tank. Some of the levels with the Batmobile took me more tries than I would like to say, especially when you're trying to help Poison Ivy out. That's a mindfuck in the first place because normally you're putting Poison Ivy away. Not so much in this one, but it's just a fantastic open world game that I would very much recommend people play if you want to put a lot of hours into it.
What say you, Colin?
All right, so mine's actually going to be an older game. It was called SOCOM, U.S. Navy SEALs 2. It was on the PS2.
I have heard of that.
It was way back when. I played that. Okay, so there's an actual meaning to this. The game was all right? But I used to play it a lot with my dad and my brother and my brother-in-law, and the 4 of us would play a lot, and it was so much. We'd stay up till 6, 7 in the morning. There was one time I literally was in the lobby and fell asleep, in the lobby and woke up 2 hours later, still in the fucking lobby, and they had just kicked me out, like, because I had been sleeping for 2 hours, but I fell asleep playing the fucking game. And it was a blast. I mean, it was just something that was connected my family a lot, especially, because it was just a good fucking game. It was so much fun to play.
All right, Steven?
Actually, one of my older games I like to play, even though I didn't really have a Sega Genesis, would probably be Altered Beast. Very, very, very old game. I don't know if any of you guys have ever played it or not.
I've actually never heard of it until just now.
Okay.
Yep.
Basically, what it is you are a human being and you're trying to save the princess from an evil lord. And you basically go through and
Mario Brothers?
I'm so confused. It's like,
no. But I mean, basically what happens is,
does he catch coins?
No. But it's like you're basically a human being, and you go through, I think it's like 5 different levels, and there are certain orbs that you can pick up, and if you get 3 of them, it turns you into a certain beast. And the first one's a wolf. The second one is a dragon.
I can see why Steven likes this
Third
game.
Third one is a bear. Fourth one is like a cheetah, I think, and then another one you go back to a wolf. But it's like, I mean, it's not very hard to beat, but it's just kind of one of them, like I always had Super Nintendo, so like when I would go to a babysitter's house, I'd play Alter Beast, and you can download it on the Xbox and play it again, but still.
To be fair, I mean, just to make it your favorite doesn't need to be something necessarily that's hard. If you enjoy it, I mean, that's what matters.
I mean, I can sit here and, I mean, it'll probably take me about an hour to get through the game, but I mean, I highly enjoy it. And
my game was all multiplayer stuff. It had nothing to do with mission mode. I never played the mission mode on SOCON.
Number 3 for me is Left 4 Dead 1, the first one. Yeah,
ours is gonna match.
And if you guys can't see this, Colin just gave him a big thumbs up ski.
Yeah, and I'd like to open this one up with fuck Francis.
Fuck that piece of shit. I hate him so much.
Oh, you guys stuck me with Francis all the time when we played online. Dickheads.
I don't get it.
I always played Zoe.
For some
yeah,
reason,
really.
every time Colin and I would play online with one another, and the computer would be in charge of Francis's actions, this tard would run the other direction and not help us.
And I have a topic about this, but I'll let it go
So
for now.
we would just, when Colin and I would start up a campaign, we would just fucking kill Francis. I mean, he was dead weight anyway. I mean,
We were better off without him.
oh my god, fuck Francis.
He's a piece of shit. I hate him so much.
Jesus
Worst
Christ.
character. We'd leave him in the closets or wherever he was
Yes,
supposed to. We would walk right by him. He'd be like, "Hey, help me out."
I would go out of my way in the finale to make sure he didn't get rescued. Like, I would take more pride in that than actually finishing that mission because, God.
There's been times where he was running up to it and we'd shoot him to make sure he died before we got on the boat.
He has
or whatever.
fucked me out of so many achievements.
He's a
that
piece of shit. I hate him so much.
Just does it to spite me. But
Oh my god.
aside from Francis being a stumbling moron, love the online play
Oh, yeah, it's
with
blast.
Left 4 Dead. It's a fantastic game to play with your buddies. Playing as the infected is amazing. I like the randomization when you don't really know what infected you're going to get or what special infected. I kind of like playing as the tank, but I think my favorite would probably be the smoker. Because if you hide just right, you can make sure they can't get you, and you can really start just sniping off survivors as they're going through the campaign.
I wish one of you assholes kept shooting the sirens, and every time you would
you
shoot
mean
the
the
siren,
witch?
yeah, I would get killed because one of you assholes would shoot the damn thing.
Probably me.
Well, that's why you don't play as Francis, Zach.
Oh no, I didn't have a choice, dickhead.
Because usually it was usually us two, you, and then the fourth one was always kind of a different one. It was usually my dad, but it was
Yeah.
sometimes Jess.
Chris Reed played with us a
Yeah,
couple
I
of times.
remember that. Yeah,
He was pretty good. He was a pretty good shooter.
Yeah, I think my dad was probably arguably the best. I think of all of us. We just let him go. He plays so many first-person shooters. It's not even funny.
Right.
By the way, before we move on, Left 4 Dead 3. Where the fuck are you? We want you.
We would love you to come out.
Please come out.
Leave Francis out though. No DLC, no Francis. You could pick anyone else.
Yeah, any of the other seven.
Fat Bob with a gimpy leg. Put him in.
don't
And
care.
no Francis.
He'd probably be more useful than Francis.
But I mean that that was mine. Steven, what's 3 for you?
We're going in a weird circle.
Yeah, I know. I was waiting for Colin to go.
Oh, I was waiting for Zach.
I was just going. I didn't have a rhyme or reason for this.
Oh. Yeah,
I like this
shocking.
strategy.
Yeah, I know.
He doesn't know.
Well, I can already tell you what my number 1 is. But number 3, I'd probably say the original Super Nintendo Super Street Fighter 2.
That was good. That was damn
We're
good.
going way the
No,
fuck
like
back.
from, I don't know if you ever like the Super Nintendo one, not
Yeah.
the BS 360
See,
one.
I thought-
Okay, cool.
I thought my 3 was going to go way back. He beat mine.
Why? What were
Could-
you?
You explain yours. I'll explain mine in a minute.
The main reason why I liked it was because, like, you know, on the Super Nintendo, it had a lot of different gameplay. You know, you had the typical, you go through the story mode, but then you also had tournament mode. You also could choose different, the different colors for the fighters. My own personal one was Ryu. Shut up, Scott.
Yes, you have a man crush on Ryan.
It was either Ryu or Ken, always. But that was just the way it was. But I mean, like I said, at the beginning of it, I'm a very big, fighting game person. I like it. I don't know. I mean, maybe just because I was only a child and everything like that. But Super Street Fighter 2, the original on the Super Nintendo, was probably one of my favorite games. Still is one of my favorite games, and I still own it to this day. Actually, just Super Nintendo doesn't work anymore.
Have that problem.
But Zach, what about you, bud?
Number 3, I'm gonna go with something a little bit newer. I'm gonna go with Forza 7.
Ooh.
That is actually one of my favorite racing games. Not only is Porsche back, but if my whole thing is I do like some racing games. Forza, I started only playing like within the last 2 years. The graphics are incredible
Oh, yeah.
on 7.
Especially if you have 4K TV.
And I do,
Yeah.
which is very nice.
Love it.
But Porsche's back. It's fun to drive. I'm glad that Forza finally got Porsche to come back from EA. Fucking assholes. There's so much to do in that game. There are so many different cars that you can race. The achievements are ungodly huge. Like,
I need to get this game.
yeah, it's basically like a
It's
7.
a lot of grinding.
Yeah, it's like 7. One of the achievements is to own 700 cars, and there's 718 cars.
Yeah. So there's a lot of grinding, a lot of money, not literal money, but
Yeah.
But there's a lot of time that you have to spend.
a
Like,
lot.
ugh.
All right.
What do you got?
See, like I said, I was going to go way back, but then Steven stole my thunder. So mine goes back to the Sega Genesis. Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
Damn it, you took
with
mine.
with Tails. With
Nice,
Tails.
nice.
Love it. Love it so much. I always played as Tails, and my brother would always play as Sonic. And
Did you like the 2-player version or the single version?
2-player. I always
Two-player.
loved playing 2-player. See, I have a brother, so I have to play.
Right.
A lot of it was 2-player stuff. A lot of my games involved playing with other people, except for Forza. That was probably the only one on the list that isn't going to be there. But it was so much. It's early 90s, my childhood, basically. It's just a fun game to play. We finally figured out how to cheat in that game so we could get to the end and figure out how to win it. Because we were young, so we didn't really play that well.
Kind of wanted to tie into something that you were saying though. I feel like with our guys' age, being so close, I would say you had 2 choices when you were a kid. You were either Mario or you were Sonic. As far as
You're right.
generation
You're
goes.
spot on.
Okay.
You're spot on.
And when you bring up Sonic, I had Super Nintendo because that's what my parents got me, which was fun, and I was perfectly happy with that. But I always wanted to play Sonic the Hedgehog. So now, I have that Sega Genesis that has 80 plus games or whatever. I play Sonic like there's no fucking
Oh, I
tomorrow,
love
dude.
Sonic. Oh
I
my
don't
God, it's
care,
so much
dude.
fun.
So,
Love it.
coming at number 2 for me is WWF No Mercy.
Ooh.
Sorry, represent best N64 game ever.
Without question, greatest wrestling game ever made. And to me, it's not even a competition. For the time that it came out, amazingly deep roster, so many story modes to pick from. I mean, I would find myself just losing on purpose to travel down different paths to just see what other storylines I could get. They had Survival, which is a huge Royal Rumble where you have to eliminate people. Like legends like Andre the Giant would come out. If you eliminate them, you would unlock them. So it would always, the salt level would rise when I always wanted to get Shawn Michaels unlocked. And when he would come in the ring, for some reason, I would always get hit and somebody would end up eliminating me or Shawn Michaels before I could get to him. And I would have to start all over because he comes out randomly.
Yeah.
Just like some of the other unlockable ones.
Yeah.
But I want to say this, playing that, the leg sweep and X-Pac's taunt was broken as shit. I destroyed so many of my friends just leg sweeping. They'd go down, pop an X-Pac taunt real quick, hit your finisher. That's all she wrote. It was broken, but it was so much fun. I love that game. I've got very fond memories of WWF No Mercy. My buddy Corey Luckett and I would come over to each other's houses and we would play for hours on end. We would play as the Dudleys and kick the shit out of Mae Young and Fabulous Moolah.
Good Lord.
There was we had bought a used copy and they had a bunch of like their created people on there. So Corey and I made our guys real quick, and for like 5 minutes we had timed it an infinite loop actually of I would put the crossface on him, and then when my special would run out, he would put the ankle lock on him, and then I would taunt in between. So we did that for like 5 minutes. We had so much fun playing that game. But Colin, what do you got for number 2?
So, a game comes back in. Left 4 Dead 1, absolutely. I thought it was even higher than what you put it at. I don't think we have to continue telling the stories. I played as Zoe. It was a good time.
I just want to get one more fuck you, Francis. In.
Can we just call it Ajax now?
Oh, Jesus.
Might as well. That ties into your topic, as I recall.
Hell yeah, but we'll get to that later on.
Zachy?
I will probably have to say, I like the original Duck Hunt for
That's good fun.
Yeah.
for the Nintendo.
Yeah, that's good.
That was, I can remember playing that for just hours on end. Like, you lose a few times and then you just start going back through the levels all over again. It still has a ton of replay value in my opinion.
Yeah.
Who didn't like duck hunting back then?
Oh
Granted,
god,
it
it
was
was so much fun.
Excuse me. Granted, it was so hard to keep the things from actually living, blowing the cartridges, make sure it works. and things like that.
Right.
It even says don't blow on the cartridges, but for some reason it works.
That is how you kept the games going.
I
back
know,
then.
right? It says on the cartridge, do not blow on the cartridge, but that was the only way to get them to work.
Right,
Like,
yep.
don't tell us to do something.
Steve-O, what do you got
That works.
coming in at number 2?
Number 2 for me. Can I do a tie?
No,
No.
pick one. We don't allow ties in this game, or I could play all day.
All right. I'll probably pick this one just because it'll make Scott laugh his ass off.
Oh, this
I
sounds
would
good.
probably say Mortal Kombat Deception.
Oh. Preach, brother.
I love that game.
Preach.
I had so
I know,
much fun
right?
playing it. Yeah.
Well, it was
Preach.
no, okay. So there's a story background behind this because he's gonna flip his shit just like I was flipping my shit back then in the day. But you had this story mode, and you would go through, and you would be Bill Raicho, and you would get all these
Fighting styles,
quote unquote. And then all of a sudden, like I'm doing good, and I think I played it for almost 12 straight hours.
You got your ass whooped by Ray Charles.
By the way,
Kenshi whooped him silly.
real quick, Sub-Zero's the good one, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Depends
so-
on who you ask.
But I swear, I spent a good 5-6 hours on Kenshi. Finally just said screw it, didn't worry about it. Got the game 10 years later, beat Kenshi on the first try. But anyway,
You needed that 10-year gap
I'm kidding, apparently.
to master the fighting style.
Right, but no,
I'm not
you've
playing
got the tower mode, you've got chess mode, you've got puzzle mode, which ironically enough was really cool, and then you got the conquest mode, which made it so much better. I played that more than I even actually played the towers and everything like that.
Mortal Kombat's done a really good job of adding a lot of depth to their video games, a lot of side play.
Uh-huh.
I love Mortal Kombat games. I can't wait for the next one, honestly, because this
I
last
don't
one,
even know.
last one was
Mortal,
pretty good.
Mortal Kombat 10 was the last one, correct?
Yeah, XL.
Yeah.
Yeah. 9 is
Oh,
why
nine's looking to be good.
9.
I'm not 9, but the next one's looking to be good.
9 I still feel like was one of the best ones as well because of the fact that the roster and for God's sakes the achievements to do on that
Oh, yeah.
was freaking ridiculous.
So,
Talk
coming
about
in,
hours of play.
coming in at number 1 for me, it should not be any surprise. It is Saints Row 3.
Oh, boo.
Fuck you
You
and your
s-
GTA stuff.
Boo.
Nothing
you
wrong
suck.
with GTA, I don't mind it, but
You own both of 4
What-
and 5 anyway.
GTA
in what
3 was
game?
good.
In what game can you not enjoy hitting people with a purple fucking dildo? I mean, you go around you can't have a bad time playing this game. The storylines for this are amazing. When I first played that game, one of our friends let me borrow it,
You won't like it.
and I played it, and I just got lost in how out of control it was. I thought it was fantastic. I didn't know it was going to come up next.
Yeah.
There was a lot of surprise voice actors on it. Burt Reynolds, Hulk Hogan, Rob Van Dam. It was great fun, and it introduced me to probably one of my favorite video game characters of all time, and that is Johnny Gat. Without question, the most badass fucker in all of video games.
I feel like those type of games are just games where I'm going to run around in a car and shoot people and run them over. And just
You have a purple dildo, Colin.
even
you
Grand
don't
Theft
need the
Auto.
gun.
Even Grand Theft Auto, like I don't play to. Have you ever actually played Grand Theft Auto and you actually minded the rules and like stopped at stoplights and stuff? I've done that before. I'm just like, I'm gonna be nice today, because you get bored doing the same old thing over and over again.
Well,
so you're like,
I
let's
did
do
that.
something new.
I did that in Saints Row 3 up until somebody ruined me, and then I broke out the dildo.
You stupid little bastard.
if you upgrade like your melee attacks, like when you hit them, they fly across the street. So it's like a home run derby. I love that game. Zach, what's your number 1?
Number 1. I'm gonna go with Call of Duty World at War.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Is that the old one, right?
Yes, it is
Yeah.
the older one.
From
It is the one where they're in the Pacific.
Yeah, like PS2.
Yes, that by far is probably one of my favorite Call of Duty games.
I'd argue that's the best Call of Duty.
If you played World War II,
I've
the new
not-
one,
No. The last one I played was Black Ops 2.
you need to play World War II because the BAR on World at War was my favorite gun because you could break it out and you could put people away from a long freaking distance. And it didn't have to be a rifle. You could finally, squeeze off more than one round at a time and
Yeah.
put it pretty accurately.
Yeah. Which is hard to do with automatics.
Yeah, and oh my god, it was so much fun. Then you're throwing mortars at the Japanese and you're hearing a bunch of different slang against the Japanese culture and during that time. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah. That's a good
And I
game.
believe Gary Sinise was one of the voice actors in that series or in that game, and it was it was so awesome.
Colin?
All right, mine's probably one of the most popular games of all time, which also one of my favorite games. Halo 2. Love Halo.
Fantastic series of games.
Have loved all the games. Any Halo game. Honestly, I could put the entire series on here. I'm picking Halo 2 specifically because the multiplayer. But realistically, Halo 2 was, I would argue, the best of them. I've actually sat and played all the way from Reach all the way to the last one, back to back to back, just to go through the whole storyline. I mean, honestly, there's another one where for the longest time I wasn't very good at Halo 2. I wasn't very good at first-person shooters. So what we do is we set it on one of the easier ones, and my brother would run up and shoot and shoot and shoot and get as far as he could until he died, and then he'd respawn back to me and go back and do it again, and I'd just hide in a bush and not get shot at all. He's just like, stay back here, we'll get it. And we'd play like on every mode that way, just to make sure that we could get it through the whole thing. But yeah, I mean, all the Halo games, personally, it'd be a however many way tie, but since we can't tie, Halo 2 is definitely the best.
Yeah.
Steve, you want to round it out?
Favorite game of all time, even though I can't play it much anymore, would be the fighting game that got me kind of started. Would be Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Oh, such a good game.
All right.
Oh, such a good game.
For those of you who like don't know, like a lot of these franchises have done these. Like there's X-Men versus Street Fighter, there's Marvel versus Street Fighter, there's SNK versus Capcom or versus Marvel, there's Capcom versus Marvel, but Marvel vs. Capcom 2 was my all-time favorite. The reason being is hands down the roster that is on that game. I believe there's over like I want to say around 50 characters.
I mean,
For each brand.
you've got people from Capcom, so you got
And
Resident
Marvel.
Evil characters, I believe, from
Mhm.
Capcom.
Jane's on there.
Is it Nemesis on there?
No, not that.
I'm
one.
actually kinda
This
shocked.
is way back when, but like,
Oh, okay.
there's like 2 different Wolverines. There's Cyclops. There's Gambit. There's Omega Red, Oshima Karath, Ken, Ryu, Akuma, Tron, Venom, Spider-Man.
We get it. It's deep.
Well, no, like I mean, like it's a lot of characters that are well known that one person's gonna see them one way or another.
Yeah.
I mean, I think up in Circle City Mill they have an arcade mode of it, and I think it was like 2-3 years ago when Zach and I went up there. I sat there and I beat the game in arcade mode.
Well, that
Zach, you gotta go. Do your topic.
Oh, my topic?
Yeah,
that-
get the fuck out the door.
that rounds out all of mine. For,
Wow, you're terrible.
my
Asshole.
topic. Exactly what do you got?
I'm going to talk about something that's just a little bit more serious.
He's always got the serious topics for
Well,
some
right.
reason. Last week was the same way.
There are fun ones, and I wanted to do the your top 5 divas of all time, but I'm gonna wait until we do one closer to WrestleMania.
All right.
So I'm gonna hold on to that one. But for those of you that don't know, I've been following Sami Zayn on Twitter pretty closely. And I don't know, a lot of you don't probably know, but he's Muslim.
Sami Zayn's Muslim?
Yes,
Yeah.
he is.
Have you noticed that on his tights that he's got?
He's got Arabic on his
Arabic
tights.
on his tights. Yeah.
I've actually never noticed.
Yeah.
And
I
I'm
actually
gonna plug Sami Zayn because I've been following him pretty closely on Twitter. Evidently, there is a massive civil war that's going on in Syria right now.
Oh yeah.
We all know, but most of us know about it. But he's trying to get his message across. He's actually purchased through a GoFundMe page, I believe, a way to get them all the refugees hospital care.
Okay.
But it is getting worse in Syria. Just a couple of days ago, they shot down a Russian jet.
Wow.
And
impressive.
it's even getting worse. Like they're turning their hit squads out on the refugees now. It's coming in more and more along the lines of like hundreds of thousands are killed every single day.
I mean,
I was sad about the Patriots losing. You're going to bring me down even more.
And I'm not trying to
We
bring.
don't have serious topics. This guy.
I'm not trying to be. I'm trying to get people aware of what's going on.
No, I'm just ribbing you. You're good.
But like it is incredibly sad. Sammy. Some of his tweets, you can tell this is really bothering him.
that's understandable.
He's Canadian, of course, and he's white, but he is Muslim, which I thought was kind of strange. But then I was like, meh.
People from everywhere.
Yeah, but it just brings to light that I don't know. I don't want to get into much more of that.
I mean, obviously, we don't live in a world of lollipops and rainbows like Steven thinks we do, but, well, he thought last year that Alabama wasn't making the playoffs
Hey,
because he
man.
thinks we live in a lollipop world. But
After everything that's happened this past week, not much positive vibes, man. I'm just
Yeah.
saying.
but yeah, I mean, you can't. It's not all positives. Obviously, we like to try and stay on the positives, but it's important to know what's going on around the world, even
Well,
if it's
it
completely on the other side.
It
of the world
was
from
it
us.
was either going to be that or we're talking about Donald Trump in the
Let's not do that.
in the State of the
that'll
Union.
that'll get really complicated here because some people
I'm just joking. I wouldn't.
some people were a fan of his, and
We're
some
going to
people
try to
are
avoid politics on this
as much as
broadcast.
humanly possible. We have a lot of.
I mean,
different
there's
politics.
just not a ton. There's not a ton going on. I just would,
That's why I was trying to avoid wrestling because after the Rumble we're kind of dead
Yeah.
for the next month. Outside of
Well,
I will give one
wouldn't
thing.
necessarily say that.
Well, I will give one thing. Sasha Banks and Asuka, arguably, if you watch the Raw after the Royal Rumble, had arguably probably match of the year. It's up there.
Did you not see Gargano and Cien?
I'm not saying that they weren't good. I'm just saying that was impressive what they were They put on a show. That easily the best match of the night. Right after Royal Rumble. But anyway, and I'm not a big Sasha Banks fan, so for me to shout out Sasha Banks, it must have been a good fucking match.
well, call it like you see it.
I mean, I thought it was fair. I thought it was an incredibly good match. So, Asuka
Actually,
obviously
I need
won.
to go back and watch that because I just saw the kick
Yeah,
on the outside that looked like her head got decapitated.
the whole thing was pretty impressive. They did a pretty good job with that. I was quite pleased. Steven, you want to do your topic, or you want me to do mine?
No, you can do yours.
Okay, so mine is actually incredibly simple. Everybody's gonna go tell a story. We're gonna tell a story today. Everybody goes around the room.
Yeah, we have story
Shit,
time.
Story time! Yay!
Story
Now, wait,
time, everybody.
Now, wait, my question is what are the parameters of the stories that we have to tell?
Obviously, no name dropping,
Damn it.
unless the person is either given written consent or something, or is somebody
Well,
that's
obviously
incredibly
no one has
close.
written consent.
I mean, realistically, as long as it's, don't be sad about it. To have a funny story.
Zach
So-
goes last though.
Well, no, let's start with a downer first, and then we'll hop it back up again afterwards.
F you.
All right, Zach, you're first.
Okay, so I'm going to tell a story.
This is gonna piss me off, I bet.
Yes, it probably will piss you off.
I feel like it's gonna piss me off a little bit.
So there are two people in this room. Well, three people in this room.
Obviously, if you're the last one, it's like only 4 quarters.
Steven. So there is one night at work. We are on the later shift, and
At the time.
at the time. Are you done, Hobbit?
Nope.
So anyway, there is the three of us are unloading this truck, and I'm not going to say
At an undisclosed location.
at an undisclosed location. There was a certain someone that was a little bit salty the entire.
It's because Scott's a fuck.
No name dropping, Dick.
He's here. He can,
We can name drop over there here.
yeah.
Well,
he's
okay.
on the podcast. I'll drop his fucking name all day.
So between Scott and I making fun of Colin, the entire night from a certain coworker that will not be named.
You gotta say coworker. It's that person.
That was probably one of the funniest nights that I have probably ever had. Seeing Colin just not talking to Scott or I the entire night.
I
went
4 hours not talking to him.
What led to this
That's different.
was
Very good setup.
we were extremely bored because it was a long day already, and we needed motivation and we needed to add some giggles to the workday.
When do we not have giggles?
So this said individual
You guys are a piece of shit.
is a female, and she was on Colin's side helping him, and it was a cold day back there, and one of the supervisors asked said individual where her coat was, and I lovingly said on Colin's nightstand. Colin immediately threw down his box, flipped me off, and walked away for a few minutes. Zach and I were about to piss ourselves laughing because it embarrassed not only him, but the said girl that was over there, because I think she might have sort of had a thing for you.
Okay, let's be real. She had a thing for you. You were both Patriots fans, so fuck you.
Well, so to continue this story, I'm asking this said individual between the two of them who she has the biggest crush on. Now, I lovingly just say, hey, do you really like Colin? And she's like, kind of. Then I mention Scott, and she gets beat red, and I'm just like, oh my god.
Fuck you, Scott.
But then Scott counters with, and I mean we're going for like 30 minutes back and forth, making fun of Colin. Colin gets to the point where he slides a box off and hits Scott in the nuts because he's pissed.
Deservedly so.
Direct hit, by the way.
Yes.
I won.
Yeah, he sunk the battleship.
Which
Fuck you, sir.
I don't think we laughed that hard out of every night that when I first started at this said place in all of my life. That was probably the funniest day.
That was pretty good times.
Tears of anger right
Colin,
now.
we'll let you go next. That way
All right.
you can-
So the irony on his video game thing was that my topic involved a story with Left 4 Dead. All right, so let's set this one up real quick. All right, so we're towards the end of this particular part of the level. To finish the level, you have to get into a boxcar. There's a bridge leading to the boxcar.
Oh, Jesus.
He knows he knows the story I'm talking about now. So it is myself, my dad, and Scott, and then fucking Francis.
Yep, fuck sticks in this
This
story.
little piece of garbage. Anyway, so we're sitting there and we're at the train station and we're getting ready to leave. Well, me and Scott scouted ahead a little bit and left Francis with Dad because we thought at this point we did not realize the fuckery that Francis was about to deliver to us. So we go a little bit of ahead. Well, I'm farther ahead and I'm getting close to the bridge, and Dad gets hit by a smoker. So we're like, oh fuck, we gotta go save him. So we run back. Francis, by the way, sitting there jerking his meat in the woods, not even a part of this fucking story, has no plans to help us. This little piece of shit. He's trying to convince a zombie to go back to his room with him. So we walk back. Well, Scott gets back a little ahead of me, and he gets jumped by a hunter immediately. So we finally go, all right, well, technically speaking, all we have to do is get one into the train car, and as long as we get the one in the train car, we'll be fine because it'll reset everybody's health and we'll be good. So we realize Francis is too busy blowing somebody somewhere to actually fucking help us. He's sitting there, dawdling, taking a piss, whatever the fuck the piece of shit is doing. So I run ahead, right? I'm like, I'll get to it. Everybody else is fucked. Goddamn witch is sitting on the damn train tracks, ran right into her, and I'm running back. Have you ever seen, like, in the movies where somebody's like, oh, fuck yeah, I'm going to go ahead, and they run around the corner, and then they're running back like, fuck, get away from me, fuck, run away. Yeah, this is what happened to me. I get attacked by the witch. Where's Francis? Oh, he's sitting there,
He even bothered to help us.
Didn't even help. He never stopped to help us. He wasn't, and here's the thing, he never got attacked. There were no zombies around him. He was by himself. Never helped Dad, never helped Scott, never helped me. We lost the level, and that's why we hate Francis forever. He's a piece of shit. He's a piece of garbage. Fuck him.
I'll go next for this one. So this next story involves Colin and I. So
Oh, this is gonna be good.
this was about 6 years ago.
We were roommates at the time.
We were roommates at the time, and we were coming back from work, and Colin had the what he referred to as the purple people eater.
Oh, God,
What
my
car
car.
was that?
It was a Plymouth Breeze.
So he had the Breeze, and the Breeze had an issue of every time he would turn, the horn would go off.
Yep. It had a weird short, and I could not figure it out for the life of me how to fix it.
So I had lived Linwood Avenue, was that?
Yeah, we were by the school.
Yeah, by the school. So
Yeah.
we're coming from probably
We're coming down Greenbush.
Yeah,
from
down
18th.
Greenbush. So as we turn, we noticed there's 3 cop cars out in front of my house. And the lights were off, and they were all standing by the neighbor's house. Well, when Colin would turn, the horn went off. So naturally, this got the cops' attention. So we're coming down the street, and the cops immediately point for us to pull over. And I seriously thought, well, fuck, we're going to jail. So we come over to the side of the road, and the cops surround the car. And they asked what we were doing here this time of night. And Colin and I were like, well, we both live literally right across the street. We're just trying to go home. And he's like, well, why is your car making these honking sounds? Why are you making this noise?
Yeah, he literally thought I was doing it on purpose to fuck with him. Like,
so the cop looked up all of our information, everything checked out, and then he was noticeably pissed because I'm pretty sure we stopped a drug bust or something.
yeah.
So the cop just kept grilling us question after question, like he was taking out his frustration on us. They were all noticeably pissed that we had interrupted whatever was going on. So he told us to park the car and then get in the house, and he didn't want to see us come out. I was like, well, that's awesome. So as they leave, Colin has to turn to get back over to the...
So I really thought about it because I should have been more intelligent and just said, "Fuck it, we're parking here and I'll move it later."
The other thing was when the cops walked away, they said to keep it down. So right when they walked away, you turned and the horn went off, and I was like, "Oh fuck, that's it. We're going to jail." I mean, your dad's a correction officer, so maybe it would be a nice cell that we go to.
He's gonna kick our ass. Actually,
I mean, it was just a horrible misunderstanding, but it was pretty funny at the time looking back.
oh my god, that was miserable.
I mean, if we could have went to jail together, we'd have been able to watch each other's backs.
yeah, that was. I ended up fixing that car, but I tried to fix it in several different ways. And the first way, it shut off the back lights. So the only way you'd see the back, yeah, I know. I pulled like a little switch underneath, and it turned the horn off, but it shut off the back lights too. So the only way you could see me was with the brakes. So at night, wouldn't work. Well, we got pulled over for that too, because their back lights wouldn't work. So then I tried a second way, and I decided, fuck it, I'm going to go right to the source. And I went underneath the panel and cut some of the wires in there to shut the horn off. Cut the wrong fucking wires. I cut the wires to the windshield wipers. So they only had two fucking modes, fast and super fast. So if it was drizzling, you were fucked.
It had a suiting in because Colin eventually went on to crash said car.
I fucked that car up.
But I think the most suiting way this could have went out is one of the cops that were there would have been on the scene when you crashed.
Luckily, it was West Lafayette police.
But the best part would have been like if the horn just would have went off during the crash. Like whatever you did to the car, like the horn is just permanently on. Just as a final fuck you to that cop that was a dick.
Yeah,
to us.
Purple People Eater was destroyed. Poor thing.
I mean, we didn't even do anything like wrong. It was just a bad timing, bad place.
Yeah, I mean, if they wouldn't have been there that night, they would. I mean, thankfully, they forced me to fix the car.
Oh yeah, they did.
Didn't want that situation
They
twice.
tried to anyway.
I did fix it.
No,
I
you did.
legitimately thought that night we were going to jail for just pissing them off because they were. Steve and I shit you not, they were furious.
They were
Probably
quite
messed up a drug.
they were
I
quite
don't-
irate.
I don't know what we messed up when we pulled in, but whatever it was, they were not fucking happy.
Yeah, they were quite fucking irate with us. So anyway,
Steven, what do you got?
Shoot, I got so many different stories. I could probably tell. I could probably just tell you one that happened to me actually about 2 years ago. So about 2 years ago, when I was living at my old apartment, I pull in and I noticed significantly. Actually, it was around 4th of July time. I'm sorry, and I noticed significantly there's a couple of cops roaming around my area. I was like, all right, you know.
What is with our stories and cops today?
Bro,
Yeah.
like, I mean,
There's
like,
another story with me and Steven that were cops right around his house or his old apartment. Remember that time we smelled ganja around your apartment?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when we were coming back from Moe's or something.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you said smoke ganja. I'm like,
No,
what?
there was
You
a
smelled
significant
ganja.
significant
Smelled it.
smell.
So anyway,
I've smelled ganja.
so
around
like
my-
it's right around like 4th of July time, and like I mean I don't know what was going on. Don't ask me. I wish I would have known. But anyway, so like I pull into my addition. I back my car up like I had been doing for a while, and I get my food out, and I'm just kind of looking around, like kind of realizing that there's cops right by my apartment complex. Cop kind of looks over at me, and he's like, what are you doing here? I said, I live here. He goes, how long have you been sitting there? I go, I literally just pulled in. And he kind of looks at me for a minute, and he's like, what apartment do you live in? And I'm just like, I'm not even doing anything wrong. I literally just pulled into my apartment complex. And I'm like, I live in that one at the bottom. And he goes, you need to get in your apartment or right now and stay there. I'm like, what the hell's going on? He's like, I don't want to see you come out of that apartment. I don't know if there was a...
Why don't the cops want to see us?
know, right?
We're such nice people.
But it's like, I didn't even do anything
That wasn't the
wrong.
first time either.
I'm actually okay
Yeah,
with it.
shit.
The less I see of cops, the less trouble I could potentially be in for doing nothing. So
Well, can I tell a bonus story?
I have one more too, and because I don't think your topic's going to go very long.
No,
particularly.
probably not. That's
So,
But so Steven and I are coming back from. I think we went to see a movie and we went to get something to eat.
You're gonna have to remind me, dude.
I can't remember what movie. I think it might have been the second Avengers movie, maybe.
No, because I went to go see that with Scott.
I don't remember. But
This is a great story.
Because apparently, spoiler alert, but if I ever go to see the Avengers, it leads to a divorce, or a breakup. Anyway,
I was gonna say.
it might have been the second or not the second Captain
we
America.
didn't see Captain America together.
Well, it was some movie.
It was a Marvel movie. Let's move on.
What date did you go on? It's okay.
Really? You two lovers over here? Really? I was thinking we went to a strip club or something, but whatever.
I don't remember, but
Continue.
yeah, it might have been.
Just continue.
Anyway, so we get pulled in to his apartment complex. We don't even get out of the car. We roll down the window. There's a cop sitting there. Hey, what are you guys doing? Blah blah blah. We're just getting back.
Oh yeah, I remember that night.
Yeah.
Fuck, that pissed me off.
And we had literally just pulled in.
That was the night that the VP got robbed.
Yeah. So they were like,
There's a fucking shot.
you guys need to get into the apartment now. I mean, like, he getting grilled, like you guys, getting grilled.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
like, all right, whatever. Like, there's like, I think he even said like, where have you been?
Yeah.
I said we went to Steak and Shake.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
Yeah.
And then he's like, well, like, how long have you been out here? I was like, maybe like 2 minutes. Like, we literally just pulled in.
Yeah.
Because I think it was like during the wintertime.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't remember that shit. That pissed me off.
Yeah, we didn't even,
I
like,
love how like people try and get caught, and I'm just sitting here minding my own business, and I get grilled for shit. Okay, whatever, dude.
I actually had one real quick. Like, I was walking home from work one day. All right. Temperature outside was -3 degrees.
fuck.
Counting wind chill is about -10. All right, so I'm cold. I'm fucking cold. And I'm trying to get the fuck home because it's 1 a.m. and I'm freezing to death. So I'm just trying to get the fuck back to my apartment so I can be warm. All of a sudden, lights fly. And I'm like, keep in mind, I'm walking.
Yeah.
Not driving. I'm walking. And this cop pulls up and I'm like, all right, whatever. No big deal. And I, just trying to keep warm. And he's like, hey, what are you doing? I'm like, I just got off work. I'm headed home. He's like, where do you live? I'm like, over there. I live right over there. I'm like, 5 minutes from. I can see my fucking apartment from here. Let me go home. Like, why are you fucking with me? You
It's
piece of
cold.
shit. Yeah. I'm like, it's cold and I'm small. Leave me. Just let me go home. I'm a skinny white kid. Let me go home, please. And this motherfucker's like grilling me about. I don't know why. I guess he needed more tickets or something and needed an excuse. So
You look suspicious walking.
yeah, I looked suspicious in my camo jacket and blue jeans. I was definitely doing something. So he's like, all right, fine. This motherfucker gets back in his car and leaves me out there to freeze to death.
Doesn't even offer you a ride?
No, this isn't even the part. This is just to check to see if I, am not a bad person. And, I'm not. Never done anything wrong in my life. And he's like, all right. And he gives me my ID back. And then he's like, all right, see you. Gets in his car, drives away. And I was like, please die in a fire, you piece of shit. Like, could you crash, please? Like, I was so fucking... I flipped him off as he was leaving. Like, I waited until he'd gotten far enough away he couldn't see me, and I just gave him a big middle finger as I was leaving, like, piece of shit. Like, if he'd have given me a ride home, then I'd be like, not a big deal.
I forgive
He's
you.
like, you're a cunt. Fuck you.
Steve, what's your topic, buddy?
He's dying now. Didn't realize that story was that funny.
It is the first time hearing it. So, kind of round out. I'm assuming everybody else is.
Oh, we're good.
All
Yeah,
right,
we're
cool,
good. You're the last one.
So that's shocking.
We let the short one go last.
Apparently. So, with the new year that's starting, and the new movies that are getting ready to come out, I kind of wanted to get everybody's opinion on either what is coming out this year that you know of as far as Marvel movies go, or if you want to throw in like a couple of favorites that have already been made, and also to throw in some that you want to see made.
I've got this.
Yeah, I kind of feel like Zach and I will take care of this one, but
Yeah,
it's all right
I don't.
because we're both huge Marvel. I know Colin's not. I mean, obviously February 16th, Black Panther comes out. As far as I know, but that's kind of one where I just want to I want to see what they can do with it. The previews look amazing as far as everything like that goes. I don't know Black Panther storyline very well, so it's kind of interesting to kind of see it. But we already know what it's going to lead up to, and that is May 28th, the Infinity Wars Part 1.
Yeah.
Final piece of the puzzle gets revealed.
Yeah, I just.
One of two.
Yeah, because I mean, Black Panther's not really a character I cared about. I didn't care about it in the last movie he was in. Like, it didn't really interest me. I mean, it's kind of a cool character.
But those are
it's
the
not,
movies Marvel normally does really well.
Is a standalone, like.
Except I'm not a huge fan of the Ant-Man movie.
Yeah.
I couldn't get into it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But
liked
if it was
him-
anything like Doctor Strange, I mean, I saw that 4 times. That was just amazing.
I like Doctor Strange. I thought it was a good movie. I saw
He's
it.
probably-
I have not seen Doctor Strange, so I can't.
That's
You haven't
actually.
even seen Spider-Man
I know I haven't seen it yet.
I've seen Spider-Man.
Homecoming.
Homecoming.
That's
Yeah,
all-
he hasn't.
What is wrong with you?
I haven't.
And
I haven't
you're a-
watched it.
I don't even follow Marvel that much.
Think
and I've
about
seen
that.
it.
He owns the movie and hasn't seen it yet, and he still hasn't seen Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
I haven't. No.
What is wrong with
Have you
this
seen
man?
Thor?
Yes, I've seen. No, I haven't seen Thor either. I haven't had a chance.
You're fired.
Jesus God, you're gonna have to just call off for a week and binge watch Marvel.
Oh my god.
Oh, I'll probably start doing that tomorrow.
What a sad day.
Well,
No, I won't.
watch Thor. That way it shuts Steven up real quick.
Isn't Justice League 2? I know this isn't Marvel, but isn't Justice League 2 coming out, or what's coming out this year for DC?
I knew you would ask that without me knowing what's
I knew
coming out.
I think Aquaman comes out.
I don't care about Aquaman. Is there another Wonder Woman movie? I like her.
I don't believe there's a Wonder Woman this year.
This is horseshit.
Next year.
But that's the only reason I watch DC is for Wonder Woman. That's the only character I like.
Aquaman is this year, and Shazam is
She's
next
adorable.
year. Wonder Woman 2 is in 2019.
This is bullshit. I want to recount.
Recount
I-
what?
Well, give them time so they can get everything in order. I mean, I'm looking forward to the next Wonder Woman movie as much as the next person.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take the lead off of.
You don't get to take
Steven.
anything because,
Shut up.
because you haven't watched anything.
You shut your whore mouth and let me talk. I'm looking forward to, of course, the Infinity Wars. Everybody is. I'm assuming.
Scott don't care.
Of course, Scott doesn't care. I think what looks interesting to me is the new Ant-Man and Wasp, since they are the two of the original Avengers. I'm really looking forward to that. And kind of a movie that I know Marvel has been talking about for a long time to do a standalone movie is Black Widow. My God, I hope they do, because I want to see them turn Scarlett Johansson from a little Russian girl to a freaking assassin.
Well, yeah, I think it'll probably be like Widow and Hawkeye.
Oh well, yeah, it'll probably wind up being something like that. But I think that whole story would be fantastic. What happened in Budapest? Out of the first movie, I want to see what that really means, and please Marvel, don't disappoint, and let's make this happen, because every time I watch the Avengers, they're like, hey, well, this seems like Budapest. What happened in Budapest?
Mm-hmm.
So that's
So I
something.
want to see something to where they go back and explain why this is the way.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to the most.
I think give them time, because once the Infinity thing runs its course, I think they're going to save movies to use after that's done to just keep people going into the Marvel universe until they have time to pump out some new ones.
Yeah.
Right, but a movie that is slated to come out this year actually is Venom. In October of this year, Venom is supposed to get his own standalone movie. I actually, when we were doing this a little bit earlier, I saw a preview of the first trailer.
Oh shit!
Looks amazing. They're actually doing it right. It looks to be a very, very good film. The only thing I'm not sure of is who is the villain. Now, I'm pretty sure...
Just be surprised.
Well, right.
Enjoy it when it comes
I
out.
mean, you know, speculation would assume that a certain Marvel character will be making either a cameo in it or will be the villain, and that would be Carnage. Which is, you know, kind of the end-all be-all for quote-unquote Spider-Man and Venom. At least in my eyes. Because everybody that has seen Spider-Man, you know, you've had, you know, the Tobey Maguire, you've had, you know, Lizard, you've had Doc Ock, I'm assuming you're supposed to get Scorpion in the next film when it comes out. You've had Vulture. You know, they haven't really done Carnage yet. Spider-Man has a lot of different villains that they can do. I would like to see, I believe his name is Mysterio?
Yeah.
That's his name?
Rey Mysterio.
No, there is a villain called Mysterio.
Interesting.
That's actually really good.
Yeah, Spider-Man's got a lot of cool villains. They just, for whatever reason, keep with the Goblin and Doc Ock. I wish they would go deeper into his villains because he does have some really nice villains that you could use.
And I'm kind of hoping. No, this might be far-fetched, but I know from the comics that I've read, I would like to see a Spider-Man and Deadpool movie. Mm-hmm. Because Deadpool is not exactly one of Spider-Man's favorite people of all time, but the talking back and forth is fucking gold.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I want more Doctor Strange.
I mean,
it was such a good story.
It is. And, you know, like I said, you know, all these movies are, I mean, except for the ones that are coming out later, are leading up to the Infinity War and to see where everything's going. I know there was an Infinity War trailer for during the Super Bowl.
right.
It was a small little trailer. It was kind of nice, but to finally get Thanos actually in the movie, and you're going to see what he can do and what he's
Purple
supposed
Bruce
to be.
Willis.
Essentially what he is.
That's what it looks
But he
like.
is the quote-unquote end-all be-all for the Avengers.
Yeah.
You know, like Apocalypse is for the X-Men, this is the end-all be-all for the Avengers. Like I kept saying. But another movie, Marvel has so many untapped people that they haven't done ones for.
I feel like they should. They do the TV series for Daredevil, and I actually like the TV series. I've actually watched the first season.
Have you ever seen the movie?
The movie was
It
terrible.
sucks.
Thank you.
The movie was terrible. The
Forget
TV
that existed.
The TV series was good. The first, well, it wasn't TV. It was Netflix, I believe. But the first season, I didn't get through the second season yet. But the first season was really good, and I think it would be. Yes, I've gotten a few people telling me to watch Punisher as well. I mean,
Punisher's damn good.
I mean, as far as the TV show is, or the
I like the
Netflix
movie, too.
original is concerned, I mean, it was very good. Punisher movie was okay, and I wasn't as impressed with that one, but it's better than Daredevil.
It's not
The only thing I think they got right in Daredevil was Elektra.
I'm actually kind of shocked you know that. I didn't think you'd watched anything after Iron Man 3.
Shut the hell up. The only person that I think that they casted
saving that joke for 10
correctly in that movie was Elektra. I think
Who played Elektra again?
it was
She was very, very attractive.
gorgeous.
yeah, it was she does the Capital One commercials.
I know who you're talking
Mr.
about.
Fuck, I can't remember what her name is.
Either way.
I hope I'm with Steven. I hope that they start to develop some of these other characters. Because I know Falcon is one of those characters. The one movie that I am very disappointed with in the way that it went, and it's just because it was a huge topic like the Infinity Wars was the Civil War.
Jennifer Garner. That's
Yeah, that
There
yes.
you go. I
Thank
knew it was
you.
Garner something, but I can't remember what the name was.
You start with J.
I think they didn't do the Civil War justice because it's a huge comic collection, and it's probably one of my favorites of all time.
Right, but the problem with them doing that is they needed it based on the Infinity War and not the original
Right,
Civil War.
but that's what I'm getting at. I think that was what I was so disappointed about. I mean, yeah, Iron Man and Captain America get in to fight. But I wish they would have gone into more detail with that.
Well, and I think, to be honest, though, they weren't going to get the amount of actors necessary to play. So, because if you look at the comic book, there's
Everybody.
a lot of the comic book characters are in it, and that's too many actors. You're not going to be able to pay all of them and make any money off of it. I mean, it's still a business. You still
Oh,
make
you
money.
would probably make the money off of it.
I mean,
Well, you have to actually first be able to do Fantastic Four correctly.
which has never happened.
Right.
Well,
They
give it
still
time.
do.
They've got new owners now.
Yeah.
Well, and then the one other movie that I hope
Deadpool 2.
that's there, but the one I hope they do is when the X-Men are finally kind of put into the concentration camp with the Sentinels.
Oh, okay.
Well, they are supposed to be doing a Dark Phoenix movie.
That's what I'm hoping that gets into this set with the X-Men, because if you've seen the last installment of the X-Men, they start to get into that mode.
Are you talking about Logan?
Yeah, no. The last
Days
Days of
of
Future
Future Past.
Yeah.
and
Okay.
Apocalypse.
Okay.
yeah, when it gets to the apocalypse time for the X-Men, that would be a very good series for them to get into. I would love to see that.
I mean, I would just like to see X-23 before we wrap up the podcast. I mean, X-23, I think, Logan's
Yeah,
daughter.
Yeah.
Love to see it. I'd love to see
I think they
A
are
movie
supposed
that-
to be doing a one of her.
because that Logan movie was fantastic. It has to be rated R though. Honestly,
Well,
Yeah,
and
I agree.
with this, like, I mean, if you guys are okay, I kind of want to throw this last one out there. With DC doing Wonder Woman, I think Marvel needs to do Captain Marvel.
Yes.
I don't know if you guys know who that is. It's basically a Marvel character who is a female superhero. She's got like specific powers. She's a leader. You know, you want to embrace it like Wonder Woman did.
So their version of Wonder Woman.
Or Superwoman.
Superwoman. Because Wonder
Supergirl.
Woman, there you go, it works. I'm just kind of, just something I wanted to kind of plug and everything like that.
I
But
agree.
anyway,
all right. I'm gonna say that's a wrap for today.
Well, I have one
oh,
last.
that's right. I
That's-
forgot. We almost left the podcast.
I've got one last.
And I have one after you.
Well, I'll let you go.
His is big. So give it a
Okay,
go.
Well, this is a big one too for me. It's a personal one for me. I'm gonna plug the hotline for the fire in Florida for the 4 girls. I wanted to plug this hotline. The hotline number is 1-800-382-4628. If you guys know anything about this fire or this arson in Florida, please. It's been almost 2 years for that one. It is actually 2 years for that one. And then the girls in Delphi as well. I don't have that number, but let's get this stuff done. I want to see my community come back because it is still a very, very sore subject. So if you know or you have any information, let's get this taken care of. And that's all I'm going to plug.
And that is, hopefully we can get that resolved. And again, if you guys have any information, do call that number that Zach had listed. But to close out the podcast, I had promised and made a few announcements throughout the week. I had something big lined up. On the next podcast that we will have next weekend on Sunday, we will have a very special guest. That guest is current global impact superstar Congo Kong. For those of you who don't know, he wrestled around Indiana. Actually, he wrestled all over the world under the name of Cyrus. Probably one of the best big men in professional wrestling today. He is what I consider modern day Vader in terms of agility and athleticism. Been a good friend of Steven and I's for a few years. And he has agreed to be kind enough to come onto the podcast next week and do an interview with us. So I am extremely happy and honored to announce that Congo Kong will be on the podcast live with us next week.
I mean, that's exciting news. I think he will obviously not be in the room with us. We'll have to get him over the phone. He's obviously busy doing things, but I mean, it's absolutely fantastic that he's going to be on the show. We actually get a special guest for once. It only took us 4 episodes.
Yeah, and again, huge thank you to Congo Kong for agreeing to do this. It really means a lot to us, and we're very happy that you would take time out of your schedule to do this for us, and we truly appreciate it. Thank you very much, Congo Kong.
Yeah.
So that's the big announcement, guys. We're gonna have a guest next week, and a damn big one too.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
No pun intended. I love Congo to death, and it's going to be great to talk to him again. He's doing great things, and Impact's starting to turn things around, and it's going to be awesome to sit and talk with him next week.
All right, guys. Well, with that note, congratulations, Philly.
Yes, congratulations, Philadelphia.
That face got so salty. I'm proud of you. Way to step up.
Yeah.
And we will see you guys on the next episode of the Four Corners Podcast.
See ya.